So specifically, are you reading other people's articles? I mean, obviously, when you talk to
Sometimes.
Bill Gates, you read Bill's book, and
I read his book. Right, yeah.
you had commentary on that, and you had questions. I thought you did a great job, sort of pushing back. And maybe it's interesting to see someone like Gates, who's gone through this evolution of being. Like Murdoch is the Uncle Satan to now, this philanthropist.
Murdoch is always Uncle Satan. I'm sorry to tell you.
But Bill was there for a while, right? Like he was the most hated man. He was Zuckerberg, really.
He was. It was very different. Bill Gates' issues were about dominance and about dominance over an industry, not the wholesale tarnishing of a civilization. Murdoch is going to have a lot to speak for when he dies, I think. He's a very different creature. I would take Bill Gates every day and twice on Sunday to Rupert Murdoch.
Do you think Zuckerberg's the archetype of Gates?
I think Mark over time will evolve, I hope. I think the job he has is so quantumly important, and he is so not able to handle it, just like very few people would be able to handle it. I respect him for trying. I just don't think it's what he's built is possible to manage in the way he hopes it could be. And the fact that he has no accountability is really difficult. I think if the guillotine's not going to drop at some point, there's no accountability. Like there's got to be accountability.
Why don't you think Mark is capable of handling this? Is it a lack of emotional intelligence? Is it?
No, of course he has emotional intelligence. It doesn't matter. No person can figure out how to deal with all these problems in real time. He's talking about managing the human race and their communications and how everybody's thoughts and negative and positive flowing through his platform, and it's being used by a lot of negativity, a lot of really dangerous information. And so having to make those calls in real time in the mass that's coming in, it's just not a job for one person. And it's not a job, not that he's making every decision, but the buck does stop with him on lots of big issues.
But can't he surround himself with really smart people who, knows these things?
Enough people. What he's built is who's in charge of all communication? That's what it is. Like, I don't forget, 60-70% of people read their news on Facebook. In some countries, it's 90. It's like as if we had someone running the internet. We don't have someone running. It just does itself, right? Nobody runs the internet, but someone runs Facebook, and Facebook is the internet to a lot of people. So.
And how about Jack over at Twitter? Is it the same situation?
Well, it's smaller. That's just because the media loves it. It's a much smaller. I mean, it has its resonance because of Donald Trump and him being on the platform, but. Again, for example, in throwing Trump off the two platforms, essentially, two people made that decision in the world. Two people changed the course of history, right? I'm good with their decision because I think it took them too long to make.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, was it too late?
Good decision. Finally, when the things were getting pretty hot, they didn't want to be that linked with terrorism, essentially domestic terrorism, but it was just two people. What? Like, huh? Like, I don't know. Even if it's a good decision, someone, I don't know, there's about to be a nuclear war and it's not supposed to be, and one person stops it. Good. But why is one person stopping it? Like, what? Like, that makes you worried.
Too much power. And that's Murdoch's problem too, right? The media empire.
In his way. Well, he doesn't have as much power as they do. It's a good thing he doesn't have the power they have. That's what I say.